Everyone, welcome to the show. I have some pretty chilling stories to share about how Donald Trump is literally disappearing people without any record of where they've been sent. Before I dive in, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free, really helps to get more eyeballs on these stories and ears. And a huge thank you to everyone who supports the show with donations. I really, truly could not do it without you. So, first is the story of a Venezuelan immigrant named Ricardo Prada Vasquez. He has an ex girlfriend and a 4-year-old child in Venezuela who he's been financially supporting until now, until he was disappeared. And Vasquez came to the country legally. He came here in November of 2024. He signed up through the CBP One app that the Biden administration had set up. And he followed the rules. Vasquez remained in Mexico while he was waiting for entry into the United States. So he was eventually granted permission, came into the country. He was working as a food delivery driver in Detroit, Michigan, and he apparently took a wrong turn. He accidentally ended up on a bridge, and I guess this is like a pretty common thing as I'm reading. This bridge takes you into Canada. It takes you across the border into Canada, and people don't realize it. They just think, oh, I'm making a turn and I'm still in the country. And so apparently they have now arrested, according to another news report, they have arrested more than 200 people at this point because people are making, immigrants are making this mistake in Michigan. So anybody who's in Detroit, Michigan, I guess would know about this bridge. But anyway, he tries to re-enter the country and Vasquez is arrested. He's placed in detention. He ends up in Texas and he's told, you're going to be deported. Well, on March 15th, he reached out. He spoke with a friend who lives in Chicago, Illinois, and he told the friend, I'm going to be deported. But he assumed because he's Venezuelan, he was going to be deported to Venezuela. So they thought, okay, he's going back home. No, after that, no one saw him. No one heard from him again, including his family in Venezuela. So, according to a New York Times report, the Trump administration, their Gestapo, confirmed finally that he was deported, but initially they refused to say where they had taken him. Then on Tuesday of this week, because this story starts coming out in the media, a DHS spokesperson who has just proven to be the biggest liar on the planet, she confirmed that Vasquez was one of the men who was sent to that horrific El Salvador prison. His name, though, doesn't appear on any public documents, any websites. There is no record of him. So now immigration advocates and experts are saying, is he really in El Salvador? Is the Trump administration sending immigrants maybe to other countries and they haven't disclosed this fact? Like, nobody knows if this is real. And if he is in El Salvador, how many other people were dumped in that prison? And there's no record of them either. And the Supreme Court said attorneys and family members could bring legal challenges against the government. They said, they weren't brought in the proper venue, but you can bring a legal challenge in the state where your client or where your family member was being held. Well, how would they even know? How would they know to file a lawsuit and in what venue to file the lawsuit if they're not even sure where the client or the family member is? And sadly, this is just one of many men who have vanished after being taken into custody by Trump's Gestapo. So there was another Venezuelan man. His name is, and I'm going to probably butcher this, but I think it's Neriver. I'm not sure. Adrian Leon Rangel. So he goes by Adrian. And he also disappeared without a trace after he was detained by ICE. So this all went down also in March. Rangel's girlfriend was with him, and she said that ICE agents approached them. They were in the parking garage of their building. They approached them without a warrant, ordered him to lift his shirt to show his tattoos. And then she said they claim that, oh, well, those tattoos, those are Tren de Aragua tattoos. So you're part of the gang. And they took him away. This is the same BS we have heard over and over again. Yet, what we've also heard is that Tren de Aragua members do not have tattoos. They don't get tattoos to show their gang affiliation. So, Rangel's family and his girlfriend have been searching for him now for over 40 days. And finally, DHS confirmed on Wednesday night that Rangel was sent to the El Salvador prison. Again, no due process, and they have provided absolutely no evidence that he's part of a gang. Nothing other than, oh, he has tattoos. That's it. And as usual, Trump's administration is lying about Rangel. They're claiming, oh, well, he entered the country illegally. No. Just as with Vasquez, Rangel entered the U.S. legally. He used the CPB-1 app. He signed up. He scheduled an appointment. And in June of 2023, Rangel met with and was legally admitted into the U.S. by immigration officers. And then he also has no serious or violent criminal history. He was arrested. This was in November of 2024, just last year. He was arrested for possession of marijuana, which it was just a misdemeanor where he was living. And so they ordered him to pay a fine. He wasn't ordered to serve time. He wasn't even put on probation. And really, I mean, it wouldn't even be a crime in many states anymore. Marijuana has, weed has been legalized in so many states. So the Miami Herald spoke with Rangel's brother, and he swears his brother is not a criminal. He is not a gang member. And he said, this is going to be really difficult to break to my mother because she is in bad health. I mean, she's already struggling with her health. And now to tell her, oh, yeah, your youngest child is locked up. I think he was the youngest, if I remember correctly. I might be getting him mixed up with the other guy, but in any case, to say, your son is locked up in this hellhole of a prison in another country where he's never been, and they have said that nobody comes out of there other than in a casket. So the family is trying to raise funds for his legal representation. I will leave a link in the description box if you'd like to help out. I made a donation last night. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is not the country that we loved. This is not the country that we thought it was. If people don't step up, I don't even know what I'm asking people to step up and do. I mean, about the only thing we can do is protest, but it has to be in such significant numbers that they cannot ignore us and they cannot just go on as usual, like business as usual, and get away with it. I mean, we have to make other people aware. We have to turn the tide against them even more than it already has been. So we can't get emotional. We have to come with facts. We have to know our facts. And we have to be able to present them in a logical, reasonable way and explain to people how it relates to them. If a government is allowed to do this to immigrants, no due process, and just throw them in a dungeon somewhere where they're never to be seen or heard from again, that is a slippery slope, and it will come for American citizens. And Donald Trump has already talked about it. He has already said he wants to send American citizens to prisons in El Salvador. So All right, guys. I will let you know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.